They never saw themselves as heroes until their actions spoke for them.
Thank you.
Now, watch how fate turns these fleeting moments into stories we'll never forget.
I'm glad somebody's got me.
A small misstep while clearing leaves left an elderly man stranded on his roof.
Let me get your wrist. Come here, come here.
Okay, you got it.
Thankfully, police officers arrived quickly and rescued him just in
It's not
time.
your fault at all. That's what we're here for, okay?
The suspect brazenly entered a juice shop in Michigan.
Hey, put it back.
Approaching from behind, a nearby store owner moved fast and stopped him before he had any chance to react.
Put it back. I'll put it back. I'm sorry, bro. I ain't gonna put my head like come back. Put it back. Put it back. I'm sorry, bro. Don't press me. Don't press me. You got, bro. Don't press me. No, you got me.
Another moving story of police officers answering the call. He didn't hesitate to rescue a woman struggling against the current. At a Barcelona subway station, a female tourist suddenly saw a man in his 30s lose his balance. Once again, quiet courage rose to the moment. Reaching a boat drifting out of control after an engine failure was no easy task. But with courage, they made it happen. As everyone ran away when a pot went wrong, one young man turned back to shut it off and keep everyone out of danger.
Hi, man. We just was walking by and your outlet was on fire. We put it out and unplugged it. We was trying to get your attention, let you know your outlet caught on fire.
Just passing by, two young men unplugged a faulty Christmas light cord, stopping a home from being put at risk. What truly warms the heart is the sincere note they left behind afterward.
We gonna unplug this one too to make sure everything good.
I just unplug it from the wall.
Yeah, you have a good day and hope everything okay.
Coming up to Ekma. Gonna be going eastbound here in a second. Get off the bike! 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 Get off! Get on the ground!
A word of thanks goes to the driver, whose help allowed officers to finish the job. As sirens warned of an approaching storm, this family welcomed a lone elderly woman inside, so she wouldn't face it alone. On his way to work during rush hour, an NYPD detective saved a choking baby using the Heimlich maneuver. For that act of responsibility, he was later honored by the New York Police Department.
Definitely all sorts of emotion, panic, shock, terrified, and everything. So I'm glad that I was able to relieve him of those emotions, and happy that she's going to be here for Christmas.
Give me left one, and forward 2. There's the left, and here's your forward. There's 2. Okay, left one more. Once he picks her up, Mike, we're gonna walk. Good. Bring
Lower third above the blue.
All right. Okay, straight ahead. I got the wires or that little pole. Clear for door.
Heroes aren't far away. Sometimes they're the neighbors who help to put out the flames when every second counts.
Hello? Yikes. Hold on. We need to go find a security guard.
After spotting an unlocked candy shop following its opening day, a father and son did more than call security. They stayed to watch over it.
Hey, how's it going? Good. Yeah, that's the door. There's just wide open. Yeah, I have a feeling you probably have some kid who just forgot to lock it or something, but I would hate it if things got stolen and have to close down. Yeah. They shut it open. My kids are pumped about this, and I don't want that to happen, so. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Is there anybody?
What made these two men rush in so quickly? It's hard for a gentleman to ignore when a lady clearly needs help.
慢点。拿一条大一点的绳子给它固定一下。
No one imagined a fishing rod could become a lifeline. With the help of wind and buoyant water, he reeled in the car and pulled its driver to safety.
它直接跳过来就好了。那你这车你得。
A routine workday for a pool cleaner took a sudden turn when he noticed a blind dog fall into the water. Driven by love for animals and relentless CPR, he brought the dog back to life. The quick thinking of a 20-year-old helped military police stop a fleeing teen. A sudden incident broke out at a ShopRite. With incredible speed, an elderly shopper acted and prevented the worst from happening. A car thief did everything he could to escape the police.
Gun, skateboard.
But a driver on the side of justice stepped in and stopped his getaway. The boy's electric toy bike leading the patrol was a Christmas gift from his father's colleagues. It stood as both encouragement and a tribute to his father's selfless spirit. Another touching story of community spirit. Hands rushed in, and kindness showed up right on time. Not letting a plumbing problem drag on, this man fixed it himself. Drop him some praise in the comments below. It wasn't easy to reach the skunk with a can stuck on its head, but the woman didn't give up until she set it free. Sensing something unusual in the weather, the homeowner and his team called the on-duty firefighter inside to safety. A homeless bystander refused to look away when he saw a man trying to force a woman to go with him, despite her resistance. Without hesitation, he rushed in when an out-of-control car carrying two 85-year-olds plunged into the water. In the end, his efforts helped turn the moment into a miracle. Volunteers on a beach in Veracruz, Mexico carried out this turtle rescue. Each year, countless sea turtles come here to nest, but this time, a mother turtle became trapped. Relief set in once he was brought up safely. This moment highlights why keeping your distance from the tracks matters.
Next time, call the MTA.
Okay. Thank you.
Are you alright, buddy? You want help?
The wallaby was exhausted, struggling in the cold water. Thankfully, a kayaker rowed over and helped it out of danger.
Get him. Get on here, little buddy. He's so weak. Yeah.
The wallaby's thanking her rescuer. Good of her. Don't go paddling.
The way this girl put love above fear restores faith in small but extraordinary acts. A narrow drain couldn't stop her from saving her tiny friend. A boat spun in circles in the middle of Lake Diaz, Florida.
5.5 meters. Hold on.
Response teams arrived instantly. Nice catch! A round of applause for this outstanding rescue crew.
Hey, just chase them.
Base 2.
Good Samaritans rushed in to rescue an SUV driver after a water main break opened a sinkhole in Cleveland.
Right here at 140th and Quick. Whole street caved in, dropped a car inside of it. I might want to call it.
Nasıl bağırıyor? Bari kız.
Ay!
Kindness, when combined, can turn obstacles into opportunities. Now the car is back on track and rolling again.
We're getting them out now. Where'd she go? Hold her up! Come on, buddy. Hold up. Oh, he's waving.
Police officers and rescue crews work together to pull a woman to safety from a creek.
Get her.
Got it.
Pull her out. Dan, don't worry about the dog. Grab her.
Grab her, Dan. Grab her. Pull her out.
During a Disney cruise, a father reportedly jumped in to save his daughter after an unexpected mishap.
You got him.
The situation was quickly resolved thanks to the swift response of the Disney Dream crew. The rushing current might stop most people, but to him, those dogs meant everything. While out for a walk, an elderly man suddenly became the target of strangers. Caught off guard by the protection of his two dogs, they fled before anything worse could happen. Not long after, that reckless behavior came at a cost. Snow covered every road, but thankfully, the group of young men stepped in to free the stranded car. Even more surprising, they went on to help over 30 more vehicles. The chaos made it even harder for the blind man to find his way. Thanks to the officer's watchful eyes and kind heart, he was never alone. A mechanical failure in a suspended scaffold left 2 window cleaners stranded nearly 15 stories above the ground. Because of the rescue team's expertise, everyone was brought down safely.
There you go.
Just like Daddy's vest, like he used to.
Slipping into that suit of armor was enough to make the boys' world shine brighter than ever.
Looking sharp.
Smile, give us a smile.
Looking sharp. Love it.
Hello.
How are you doing?
An unexpected turn left officers briefly taking over a suspect's delivery route. Their thoughtfulness upheld justice while making sure customers weren't kept waiting.
I really appreciate the pizza.
It still should be.
Very much. Appreciate it. Take care.
A 92-year-old woman with memory loss wandered off from her home. Fortunately, a kind delivery driver noticed her bracelet and guided her home safely.
Death situation in Oregon's Columbia River Gorge.
A climber suddenly spotted a disabled woman clinging to her mother at the edge of the cliff.
Thank you so much. I can't pull up. No, Mom, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna get you. Thank you.
No, use your feet. Get back up here. You got this.
Okay, let me.
No, I'm not letting you go.
No, I got your other hand. Can you push your feet?
All right.
On that perilous slope, a stranger's courage turned danger into safety.
Oh, they're gonna embarrass.
Oh, no.
You can see my arms now are all dirty. Doesn't look like I've just been filming. What do we got?
At 89 years old, he had lived through countless highs and lows. Yet a simple moment from strangers moved him to tears like a child. The entire crowd seemed to beat as one, showing respect and support for a 7th grader with Down syndrome.
Najbolji pokazatelj i primjer da to ne bi trebalo biti apsolutno nikakvo opravdanje nikom.
No one would complain if the show paused to help someone in need.
Na sve što nam se događa u zadnje vrijeme.
Uvijek može gore.
Uvijek može gore, upravo to. Mislim da će se dečki pobrinuti.
The dog showed unwavering courage and loyalty, protecting the baby in a close call.
Papa, you saved him. Thank you.
It took only seconds for the man to assess the situation and act. As he stopped the intruder, his wife calmly escorted the employee out before the police officers arrived.
It's amazing to not think of himself and put himself in danger.
No, not a hero. Just everyday bloke doing something that needed to be done.
It was impressive how a family in Australia worked together swiftly to prevent a break-in. The little girl showed that goodness and fair play matter more than any medal. Thanks to the delivery driver's care, every package arrived safe and sound.
Your goodness, your mercy, your grace, I could not live. Hey!
And Keim homeowners are always happy to return the favor for service like this.
Into the knowledge of...
A blown-out tire forced an ambulance driver to stop. Bystanders quickly flagged down an SUV for help. Luckily, the driver agreed, and the patient reached the hospital in time.
There you go. You all right?
A holiday at the Jersey Shore seemed calm, until an offshore storm turned the seas into chaos. In that moment, a tandem surfboard never meant for rescue proved unexpectedly vital. With it, a surfer was able to bring a man safely back to shore.
Here comes another wave. Hold on. Hold on.
Hello?
We found your wallet.
Oh, you found my wallet? That's my son. I'm across the street. Right there.
Saying no to greed is a form of kindness. There's no doubt this boy will grow into a compassionate man. Courage isn't always about doing something big. Sometimes it's owning a mistake and making it right, just like this boy did. The Sri Lanka Air Force arrived in a Bell 212 helicopter, delivering a happy ending for a man left completely isolated by floodwaters, who had clung to a tree for hours. Oh, it didn't go too far after all. Thank you for your quick thinking.
Business cross.
No.
Don't open.
This Christmas felt extra special when a grandfather gave each grandchild a pair of Crocs. He also tucked a charm as a reminder that their mother's love and memory are always with them.
Are you there?
The odds weren't fair, but he didn't wait it out. His timely courage forced the robbers to retreat at once.
Go! Full team, now!
Flooding in Pennsylvania left a car submerged in rising water. Seeing the danger, a passerby waded in and helped the woman out safely.
Yes, there's another one!
Oh, he was saved thanks to his teammates' quick reaction. In snowy terrain, every step needs extra care. Every captured moment is a testament to the power of human kindness. Share your own story in the comments and follow wowtv for more moments that truly matter.
Hi.